if you've been ripped off,
I felt very cheated and conned.
but are struggling to get back your hard-earned cash,
Everything that I'd worked for was gone, basically.
help is at hand from the sheriffs.
Hello.
We're High Court enforcement.
We have an outstanding writ of control.
They're back with a brand new team, determined to get you the money you're owed.
You're wasting our time. I'm now going to call a locksmith.
Acting with the High Court's authority,
He's the one with a court writ, so he's the victim, not you.
they have the power to remove assets,
We're here to retrieve full balance, if not remove goods otherwise.
to ensure you're not shortchanged.
The sheriffs being our last saviour and hope.
Every year, sheriffs in England and Wales recover your unpaid debts totaling £100 million.
I've got my money back and now we can put this matter to bed.
Coming up, the sheriffs visit a shopkeeper who's failed to pay his bills for almost 2 years.
It's either full payment today or we have to take action. If you can't do that, then you'll find your shops being locked up.
85-year-old Dudley Bristow was left drastically out of pocket, courtesy of a door-to-door salesman.
I felt very cheated and conned.
The debtor tries every trick in the book to avoid liability.
It's actually the other way round, sir. You need to prove to us that it doesn't belong to Rue Shield.
He's the director of the company. You should pay their debts.
And when a second-hand car dealer denies responsibility for a debt,
I'm going to ask you again, is this XMC car sales?
Said no, it's not. I don't.
Ben puts the sheriffs firmly in the driving seat.
There's a distinctive Fiesta here with red alloys, and it's there on the website. We're in the right place.
It's a busy morning in South London. Enforcement agents Luke Peacock and Grant Bailey are hoping to settle a substantial debt that's been owed to a company for almost 2 years.
We're going to see Sherry's Beauty Limited in Peckham, SE15. The intel we have, the claimant seems to be a distributor.
Sherry's Beauty Limited is a cosmetics retailer. It owes £14,500 to one of its suppliers. It's a sizable debt, given the likely assets on site.
Perfumes, cosmetics, makeup, wigs and weaves. Very small priced items, so going by the amount owed to the claimant, it will be a large amount necessary needing to be removed if it gets to that stage to be able to recover the balance outstanding.
The address the sheriffs have for the debtor leads them to Peckham's busy high street and a shop called Ginny's Beauty, not Sherry's. In situations like these, the sheriffs are eager to iron out any confusion as soon as possible.
Hi there, guys. How you doing? You all right? Oh, you work here? Yeah. Lovely. Can we speak to Mohammed Najib, please?
He's not here.
He's not here?
No, he's out of the country.
He's out of the country. Are you able to contact him for us, please?
Yeah, I can try.
Enforcement agents. You know about it?
Yes.
Lovely. Oh, that's interesting. Sherry's Beauty Limited. So it's them?
Yeah.
The name above the door was actually different to the company that we were looking for. So the immediate concern was that there could possibly be another company operating from here. But what we found under the desk here is a certificate of incorporation, and the name on it is Sherry's Beauty Limited, which is the company we're actually here to see. So if we do get told that actually there's another company operating from here, we know that's not true.
Meanwhile, the staff have managed to get the company director on the phone.
Hello? You've been taken to the county court and the case has been uplifted to the High Court. So we are here to collect £14,518.43.
The debtor says he'd made an arrangement with the claimant to set up a payment plan when he returns from Pakistan in a week's time and can't understand why the enforcement agents are in his shop.
Unfortunately, they've taken it to the High Court. That's why we're here. So they've passed all responsibility to us because they want the full balance.
Insisting that he doesn't have the money to hand, the debtor asks for more time.
Sir, you keep pleading with me, but you're not letting me finish. If you don't pay, it's likely that we'll get a removal truck here today to remove your stock. I can't tell you how you're going to resolve it. All I could tell you is that this balance needs paying, otherwise we're going to clear the shop. You now need to act upon that. Okay, bye-bye. Lovely. Thank you. He's going to come back to us, yeah? We're just going to take a look around the shop.
With the company director promising to try to find the funds, the sheriffs begin their assessment of the assets in case he isn't able to come up with the money.
Going to be a lot of bottles of lotion. £5, £13. Very low value items, but they all add up. £7.50, £40.
With more than £14,000 owed and most of the assets here worth less than 50, recovering the debt poses a logistical challenge.
But yeah, it's going to be a very big removal if necessary. It would be a day just doing inventory.
I think we'd be here till the weekend.
Yeah.
The best thing to do on this one would be to do a sale on site. It's the most sensible option right now, looking
Rather
at
than
it on
getting a
face
truck
value.
here, spending hours and hours and hours packing up.
To actually remove this stuff is going to be a big operation. One option we do actually have is to arrange a locksmith to come, lock the shop up, and then in 7 days, if they haven't paid, there'd be a public auction held on site. If we're saying all of these are averaging at £40 each, so there's 10 of each item, 400, 400, 400, 400, 400, 400. Obviously, they wouldn't sell at £40 each.
Not at auction, no.
But when you've got a whole wall all the way down there,
At least 80 to 100
all the way
feet.
down here, as a whole,
Yeah.
is worth thousands. Someone would come and buy it as a whole thing.
Yeah, they'd have to.
And I needed a toothbrush yesterday.
Should have come here first, then.
99p for a little pink one.
Meanwhile, the debtor calls back.
Hello? You would like until 2 p.m. tomorrow to pay the full balance. If by 2 p.m. tomorrow you guarantee to have the full payment in front of us, then I could go back to the client and request that. Right, I will make the phone call. And if they say yes, they say yes. If they say no, they say no. Okay, stay by the phone.
Luke calls the claimant.
Hello? It's Luke Peacock, how you doing?
And soon has his answer.
All right, lovely, thanks.
Although it's unusual for the sheriffs to walk away empty-handed from a business full of assets, on this occasion, they're going to be patient.
Considering the time of night now and the actual manpower that it would take to remove these items, I think that's the best case scenario. They're a fully operational shop, so I don't think we've got any concern of them emptying the place so we can't remove the goods. Hello? Hi, sir. They're happy to give you until 2 p.m. However, make sure you stay in touch because if not, the balance goes straight up to 17. So you're going to have nearly another £2,000 on the bill. Don't let it happen, yeah? All right, take care. Bye. Thanks a lot.
Enjoy your dinner. Take care, yeah? Good night.
But will the claimant, who's been owed thousands of pounds for the last 2 years, get their money tomorrow? Few of us can afford to be left out of pocket. If you've been let down by faulty goods or substandard services and are struggling to get your money back, you can use the county courts to recover your hard-earned cash. Around 2 million claims are made every year in England and Wales and can be filed by post or online for a small fee. Both parties in the case will be asked to submit evidence, and you may have to attend a court hearing. If you win your case, a county court judgment or CCJ will be issued against the debtor. If they still don't pay, it's time to call the sheriffs. Tracking down a debtor company is not always as simple as you might think. Today, enforcement agents James King and Mark King are chasing a debt owed by a company which has been proving difficult to locate.
Okay, this morning, me and James were off to Maidstone to a roofing company called Roof Shield Solutions Limited. We're there to collect today's just over £3,000.
Roof Shield Solutions Limited were taken to court by 85-year-old Dudley Bristow. His dispute with the company began when he was visited by a door-to-door salesman.
Well, it was a day in May and the weather was fine, you know, and I was gardening and that, and there was this knock at the door, and this very pleasant chap. He said, "I'm not trying to sell you anything," he said. That's his word. "I'm not trying to sell you, but I would like to point out that your roof is in need of cleaning," he said, "and we could do it at a very reasonable price. Removing the moss and coating it with a chemical so that the moss never ever came back on again. That was the service." It sounded quite plausible at the time. Clever people, these salesmen.
Roof Shield Solutions quoted a price of £6,000, and Dudley was initially reluctant, but the salesman persisted.
He started off naturally being very pleasant. As time moved on, you know, I could tell that he was really trying to push it, sort of thing, you know what I mean? It sort of starts off very smoothly and carry on till they get a deal.
Eventually, Dudley agreed to the work and placed a deposit of £2,000. But he soon started to have second thoughts.
After a couple of days and sitting down with all the paperwork and working out the cubic meters and everything, it seemed hideously expensive for a job that was pretty basic, really, nothing, no skill attached to it or anything really. And at the same time, it did occur to me, if you've got someone on the roof, they can do damage, you know, they can. I mean, we don't know who these people are, so I just thought, scrap it. So I picked the phone up, cancelled the deal.
Still well within the 14-day cooling-off period, Dudley was legally entitled to cancel with a full refund, and Roof Shield Solutions seemed to agree.
They accepted it, and they said they'd reimburse me. After a couple of weeks, I phoned them back again. "Yes, we're putting it in the post now." Never happened. And that happened 3 times. Every time I phoned, they agreed that they were going to pay me back. They never said they wouldn't, ever.
But of course, it never happened.
Angered by the company's failure to give his money back, Dudley began to question whether the work had ever been needed in the first place.
If you look at my roof now, you can see it's not in a critical moss state, is it?
I feel cheated and conned. I began to feel very depressed about it.
Dudley became determined to get his money back, even if it meant taking legal action.
I took it to the small claims court, realising what they were doing. They never showed up in court. Well, the judge ruled in my favour. It's a very straightforward case.
Dudley assumed that the court ruling would be the end of the matter, but it wasn't that simple.
I won my case. They still didn't pay up, so I took it to the High Court. I won my case, and they still didn't pay up. And as a last chance, I required the services of the sheriffs to get the full refund.
Since Dudley went to court, Roof Shield Solutions Limited's website has been taken down, suggesting that it may have ceased trading. The sheriffs recently visited an address they had on file, but the unit turned out to be empty. They now plan to visit a second address they believe could be linked to Roof Shield Solutions Limited.
You ever done a roofing company before?
Sure, to be honest. Done scaffolders.
I've done scaffolders before. Yeah, I've done scaffolders.
Mark thinks getting Dudley the money he's owed could be tough.
Being outside contractors, if you like, the site's probably just to have a port cabin or something on it, maybe. Wouldn't expect there to be a lot of assets there other than vehicles, I would have thought. Might be some vehicles. By the time we get there, if they're any good, they're going to be out working.
Ooh, black cat. Sorry, guys.
As the sheriffs reach their destination, there are more bad omens.
Signage at the gate shows a different company.
Looked like an old sign though, didn't it?
On the plus side, the address leads to a proper unit. Rather than the porter cabin Mark had feared. But are Roof Shield Solutions Limited inside?
Good morning, sir. Looking for a company called Roof Shield Solutions Limited.
Roof Shield Solutions?
Yeah.
Weather Shield Solutions?
No, Roof Shield Solutions Limited. No?
No.
The man says this is a different company.
It's all on the paperwork. There's paperwork there. There you go. Anglia Conservatories, Trainers Weather Shield Solutions.
Who's the director of Weather Shield Solutions?
Andrew Jordan.
Andrew Jordan. Okay.
James looks up Mr. Jordan on company's house.
Andrew Jordan is also the director of Roof Shield Solutions Limited.
I don't know.
Is Andrew around?
He's not around at the moment.
Can we get him on the phone?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Passport you got, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a High Court writ.
Yeah.
We're here today to remove goods, cover this outstanding debt.
All right. How much is it for?
Balance is £3,009.34.
I'll message him as soon as he rings me. I'll say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely. So, looks like Weather Shield Solutions Limited has the same director as Roof Shield Solutions Limited. So it's a good possibility they're both trading from this unit. So we are at the right place. Obviously, from our point of view, we need to identify the goods that belong to Weather Shield and the goods that belong to Roof Shield.
James and Mark cast their eyes over the goods piled up in the warehouse for any clues as to who owns them. But at first glance, there isn't much cause for confidence.
Other than a few roof tiles, there's nothing here that I've seen that relates to roofing. Everything I can see has got labels on that says Anglia.
While they wait for him to call back, James carries out some further online checks on the debtor.
They've certainly got a lot of limited companies. Andrew Paul Jordan. Roof Shield Solutions Limited currently has 5 CCJs against it. All similar sort of amounts, 1,500 to 3 grand.
A few minutes later, Mr. Jordan is on the line.
Can I speak to him? Hello, sir.
He says Roof Shield Solutions Limited isn't based in the unit and can't understand why James is there.
Obviously, this is a county court judgment that's been transferred to the High Court. I'm an enforcement agent. Now, I don't know if you're aware, but we can go to anywhere in England and Wales where we believe there's goods that belong to the company. Now, considering this company is called Weather Shield and you are the managing director, you're also the managing director of Roof Shield Solutions, then we have reasonable assumption that the goods here could possibly belong to Roof Shield Solutions.
The debtor says nothing in the unit belongs to Roof Shield Solutions Limited, which is the company that's failed to return Dudley's sizable deposit, and says that without proof, James would be unable to remove anything.
It's actually the other way round, sir. You need to prove to us that it doesn't belong to Roof Shield. If we can just see, obviously, invoices and bank statements to show that these goods were bought by Weather Shield Solutions, then that's fine, we can be on our way. Alternatively, sir, as the director of Roof Shield Solutions, would you like to make this payment of this outstanding judgment that you have?
He's the director of the company. Ultimately, he's liable for it, isn't he? He runs the company. He should pay their debts.
You pay it now? Can you do a bank transfer?
It seems Mr. Jordan has agreed to pay.
No problem. The amount is £3,009.34.
A bank transfer is made.
There you go, mate. That's all paperwork. If you've got any questions, my number's on there. Lovely. Take care, mate. See you later.
And the Roof Shield Solutions Limited's debt is paid in full.
The director had different companies, and he was a little baffled that we had turned up at that address. He was like, this is a separate limited company, it's nothing to do with us, so therefore I don't have to pay.
When James pointed out that he needed to prove the assets at the address belonged to another company and also bank statements to show who paid for them, I think it was, to be honest, it was probably more hassle than it was worth. And he decided, yeah, well, let's just pay it, get him out of here.
After a long legal fight, Dudley Bristow will finally get back the money which Roof Shield Solutions Limited had promised him all along.
Now, I've just received a notice from the sheriffs, and I'm very, very happy with the result. It's taken me 3 years for a settlement. Being a senior citizen, I have to bear in mind that if it went on much longer, I might not be in a position to receive it. I'm very pleased that it's finally concluded, and I have a message for the sheriffs. Thank you very much.
Back in London, Luke and Grant are on their way to pay another visit to Sherry's Beauty Limited in Peckham, who for over 2 years have failed to pay a small supplier over £10,000. Last week, when the sheriffs visited, the director was in Pakistan.
OK, stay by the phone.
And he asked for more time to pay.
What's he saying?
He wants 24 hours till 2 o'clock tomorrow, and he can clear the full balance.
But he has not lived up to his word.
With the conversations I had with the director initially, it sounded pretty genuine and reasonable, and that he was going to make reasonable attempts to actually clear it. But within the following 24 hours, he didn't come forward with a payment and requested another week. So the clients requested that we return and look at taking control of the goods that are on site.
So today we're heading back to retrieve the balance. If not, we'll be looking to do a potential lockout. Take possession of all goods in the property, change all the locks to secure the premises, and then if necessary, an auction will take place within 7 days if the balance isn't paid. Do you reckon they'll be expecting a revisit this morning?
No.
If the director doesn't come up with the money this time, then the sheriffs will have no choice but to put the shop temporarily out of business.
How you doing, boss?
You all right?
Yeah, you. Is the guy we spoke to last time about, is he back in the UK now?
No, he's not in UK.
Still in Pakistan? Hello? Hi there, sir. We've been instructed back here this morning to collect the balance. No, the request was for you to have until this Friday, but the client's not willing to accept it. So unfortunately, it's either full payment today or we have to take action. Because I'm not standing here going around in circles for the next 2 or 3 hours, as we have done for the past 72 hours. You now need to do your job, and that is to try and raise the funds over the course of the next 30 minutes to an hour. If you can't do that, then you'll find your shops being locked up. Thanks for your time. It seemed to be back to square one, and he keeps reverting back to needing until Friday. Therefore, we have to take action. He's been given another 30 minutes. If he hasn't raised the funds, or certainly a chunk of those funds to show us he's making an attempt, then we'll have to proceed with getting a locksmith en route.
With no offer of payment on the table, Luke and Grant have no choice but to proceed with the enforcement, as commanded by the court. They begin working out how the premises can be secured.
This one would need to be locked, but there's no handle on it at the moment, but that's fine.
No, that's not an issue.
So we can
Obviously,
lock this one.
This one.
The fire exit will be locked inside.
You can also lock their office, which
Is locked at the moment
is
anyway.
locked.
Yeah. Hey, have you got the key for the office? Please.
Was it these ones? Yeah.
As they previously didn't get into the office, it's worth checking out now, just in case.
Is there a safe or anything in here? Imagine if we found 20 grand in cash. There could be a potential cash flow back here, maybe a float or something, which cash we are able to seize and knock that off the balance. Just appears to be receipts, so nothing of too immediate interest.
The debtor's 30 minutes is nearly up.
Luke Peacock.
When he rings back, he says he's going to be able to raise the cash by borrowing from his older brother.
Has your older brother told you that he has 15 grand to give you? 45 to 50 minutes, he's going to come back to you. Until the point of which the money's hit our account, then we have to carry on. We're in the same position. I'm not going to wait around for another couple of hours. Sir, quite frankly, you're wasting our time. I'm now going to call a locksmith. We're going to lock the shop up. That's it.
Unconvinced by the debtor's promises, the sheriffs make the call.
Just checking your availability for this SE15 job.
He's changed in tone since the original conversation this morning because he's now saying he's trying his best to get the money together. But ultimately, we're not getting anywhere as we are.
Yep, that's perfect, mate. Yep, give us a shout. Bye. About half an hour or so, he said, he hopes.
In the meantime, there's plenty to do. Although the sheriff's strategy of taking control of stock on site has avoided the arduous task of removing it, they still need to make an inventory of everything here.
Right, wigs. What colour wigs have we got?
Black.
Brown.
Grey.
Grey. Purple. How many of each? You count brunettes.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I think it's like 127.
What, all the way along?
Well, today, yeah, brunettes, not blondes or red. Because there's a couple red ones there.
I've just put wigs all. How many wigs are there, all of them?
53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64.
And 3,
74,
6,
75, 66,
77, 7, 8, 6.
80, 81, 82, 83, 84.
Although each wig is counted,
185.
Can you write on the paperwork?
for everything else, a photographic record will have to do. With the paperwork complete, the contents of the shop are now officially under the sheriff's control.
Here we go. He's here, Luke.
Lovely.
Next, every lock must be changed to prevent the debtor or anyone else from gaining access and interfering with the assets. It's now the last chance for the debtor to come up with some money before his business is shut down.
Luke Peacock.
Finally, he calls back.
Hi. So you're not able to pay anything now?
It's bad news. The debtor's brother has been unable to lend him the money.
Right. What do you have today, sir? So you've got £240 you can offer today. You've now had from Thursday to Monday. You've still paid nothing, and you've offered us 240 quid, which, to be fair with you, is an insult. So this is it now, sir.
The man says he still wants to pay off the debt.
You'll have 7 days before everything in this shop is sold.
With the debtor's best offer totalling less than 2% of what he owes, the closure of his shop is now inevitable.
Take care, guys. Thanks for your hospitality, and hopefully it pays and you can come back on Friday. All the best, guys.
Enjoy the time off. Very hard time to enjoy.
I feel sorry for these guys because they've basically just been kicked out of their job and their main source of income because the director, for whatever reason, is back home in Pakistan and has not made any attempt to actually pay it. You know, even if he had raised a few £1,000s today, he could have prevented this. All done, mate, yeah? Lovely job.
The sheriffs now have the only keys to the premises. But before they can leave, there's one final matter to take care of.
Got it?
Kind of.
Just empty that outside. There's a quite considerable leak in the building. Obviously, the fact that we've locked the shop up, it's going to be locked for potentially 7 days. With the rain we've got at the moment, it could start filling up quite quickly. So it's something that we need to take into consideration with the fact that we've secured the premises. So to an extent, we have some responsibility over it.
"4 hours after they first arrived, the business is finally locked up.
Paperwork,
Keys are on there.
keys.
Yeah, let's go.
Job done.
We've had to take the most extreme course of action today. It wasn't one that we'd planned, and it's certainly not one we do very regularly. But unfortunately, after all the chances we've given him, we're left with no alternative.
The director now has a week to come up with the money before the contents of his shop are sold via an online auction site. If you've won a county court judgment but are still out of pocket because it hasn't been paid, for £66 you can get the case transferred up to the High Court, which will issue a writ for enforcement by the sheriffs.
Can you please come to the door?
Here with the High Court writ today.
We will be executing today, if not removing goods.
These High Court awards have to be paid, and the sheriffs have unique legal powers to ensure you get the money you're owed.
Here regarding a High Court writ of control.
We can't get off the site today without full payment. If you shut the door, us will get locked up here. Why are you preventing us access?
And there's no limit on the size of debt they can pursue.
£8,691.22p.
£40,386.
You can just do the bank transfer.
If they're successful, they'll recover your money and costs from the debtor,
Brilliant.
Cheers, thank you.
as well as their own fees, which are set by the government.
We'll have to take the case to the next stage, and we'll have to get removal trucks here to remove your goods.
If the sheriffs can't get your money, you'll be asked to pay another £90 to cover their costs. Second-hand car sales are a common source of disputes in the county courts. And many disgruntled buyers ultimately turn to the sheriffs when a judgment in their favour hasn't been paid. This morning, enforcement agents Ben Dyram and Miles Whitworth are heading to Dewsbury in West Yorkshire.
Okay, so we're off to XMC car sales. We're attending with a High Court writ for just under £2,100.
The money is owed to a customer who bought a car but later developed a fault. But when the customer asked XMC Car Sales if he could return the vehicle, he says they became abusive towards him.
We'll go there, see what they have on site, put a little bit of pressure on and clamp a vehicle, something like that if we need to, and see where we go from there.
The address they have on file for XMC Car Sales leads them to a back street near the city centre.
Could be wrong, but I see this is where the photos are, mate. There's your picket fence.
But there's no sign of a car dealership here.
There's somewhere on it. Just get out.
Ben and Miles decide to have a look around on foot.
They never seem to have the right signage above the door, so it always makes it difficult.
This car yard on the next street isn't branded as XMC Car Sales.
Let's speak to these guys, see if they know them.
But it's worth a try.
Give him a knock.
Hello. Hello, mate.
Hey, mate.
We're looking for XMC, mate. XMC Car Sales.
A young man inside says XMC Car Sales is nothing to do with him.
Right, so I'm just here to ask him, mate. As I say, obviously it's proven a little bit difficult to find, but...
Do you know where they are, up?
He says he hasn't heard of XMC Car Sales.
What's the address here, mate?
Do you know where Bell Street Mills is?
Nor does he recognise the address.
Right, all right, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
But the sheriffs aren't convinced they're being told the full story.
What's the number of XMC?
970-799.
No.
Ben takes another look at the cars on the debtor's website.
We're in the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see there's a distinctive Fiesta here with red alloys, and it's there on the website. Same registration number. Also that Peugeot there, mate. This Merc, and that one with the red alloys in, mate. So we are in the right place. I'm going to ask you again, is this XMC Car Sales?
Said no, it's not. I don't. You see how...
Do you work here, mate?
Yeah.
Right. Well, can you get your boss down, mate, please?
Have a little look inside, buddy.
Although the sheriffs are entitled to search the premises, the staff don't want to let our camera operator in. Nor are they happy about Miles rifling through their paperwork.
I'm just looking, mate. Looking for XMC Car Sales.
We're allowed to do that. You don't have to give us permission.
You said you had nothing to do with XM Car Sales, but there's loads of letters here, so that's exactly why I'm looking.
The young worker has now managed to reach his boss by phone and hands him over to Miles.
Hello.
But he too claims XMC Car Sales isn't here.
Well, I'm inside your office now and reading a letter to XMC Car Sales. And you've got cars in the forecourt getting sold online under XMC Car Sales, so let's not mess about now, pal. The outstanding balance is £2,092.11p.
We're getting to the bottom of it fairly swiftly. It's a family-run business. The younger gentleman is the brother of the debtor. Miles has gone in there and he's found paperwork in the company's name straight away. And obviously we've found at least 3 vehicles there, also for sale on XMC Car Sales website, so now they're admitting to being part of the same company. Not overly happy about Miles going through the paperwork, but we are entitled to do that.
Having now admitted this is the debtor business, the family members want to know more about the debt, which no one seems to be able to recall.
We've got a name there for you. I mean, you'll have an invoice somewhere, no doubt.
But until they know which car it relates to, the debtors do not want to pay.
Well, you have to, mate. It's as simple as that. All we can say, lads, is if it isn't paid within the next sort of 10 minutes, it will go up by £594, OK? No, it's not normally after an hour. Doesn't have to be an hour, mate. You said XMC Car Sales weren't here in the first place, so we are entitled to add those fees.
Finally, they give in.
Account number is 037.
And ask for the bank details, so they can make the payment.
£2,092.11p.
Payment has cleared. That's excellent. No problem. All right. Thank you, Emma. Cheers. Bye. Bye. All right. So it's as easy as that, lads, eh? We'll get your receipt and then we'll get away.
And despite the business's identity crisis, the customer has finally got the money he's owed.
Once I was inside, I was speaking to multiple different people, actually. One of them wasn't happy, one of them was quite forthcoming. was fine and he was quite willing to pay, but in the background the other one was kicking off about it.
It's not unusual for garages of this type. You know, it's clear that there's multiple businesses trading from there. XMC Car Sales was just one of them. What saved the day was we'd done an internet search, and lo and behold, there was at least 3 vehicles in that compound that belonged to the debtor and was advertised on that site. So once we had that information, we weren't going to go anywhere until it was paid. Job well done for the claimant, fairly straightforward, apart from a little bit of wrangling. Yeah, job well done on the day, and the result for the claimant.
It's now a week since Luke and Grant changed the locks at Sherry's Beauty Limited, a shop that's owed over £10,000 to a small supplier for over 2 years. And the Sheriff's strategy seems to have paid off.
We've had a call from the director today and their solicitor to say that they've paid the full balance, bar a couple of £100. So he's got the remaining balance in cash for when we actually get to the premises. The reason we need to go back to the premises is to obviously deliver them the keys.
Do you want to give him a shout, find out where he is?
He'll probably be down here waiting for us.
Maybe he's having a cup of tea.
He might be.
The sheriffs are the first to arrive,
I think this is our man.
followed shortly afterwards by the director.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
Are you looking back home? Yes.
Luke, we finally meet.
Yeah, finally meet. You need to see my passport?
Yes, please.
Yep, some sort of identification.
Thank you. There's mine anyway, so you're aware. Do you want to see?
I shall see.
Yeah. So, have you got the 353?
Chat away, Gus. Yeah, look.
Lovely, thank you.
Keep the change. 355.
£355, check that, mate.
With the handover of the remaining money,
355.
Sherry's Beauty Limited's £15,500 debt is at last settled.
Right, these are the front door.
Yep.
And then you've got 2 for the back door.
Yep.
And then you've got 2 for the very, very back door.
New locks now.
All new locks.
You got something out of there at least.
3.
Off to work. That's it, we're done.
The shop is officially back in the owner's hands and can trade once again.
Thanks a lot for your help, guys.
Take care, boys. Take care, guys.
See you later, guys. All the best. So, thankfully, it's our final time back here. It went a lot smoother. The director of the company was very forthcoming. He appreciated that we had a job to do, and ultimately, that makes the whole process a lot smoother. So, yeah, good result in the end. We got full payment, and he's now back in the shop and ready to trade again, which is the main thing.
The client's happy now, he gets his money, everybody's happy.
After 2 long years, the shop's supplier will finally get the money they're owed.